Today, we're talking about what happens when the injuries just don't get better. Stay tuned for more information down below. I'm here today with one of our attorneys, Sam. We want to talk about one of our recent client victories here. Sam, tell me about the case we're talking about with today.
Sure. Today we're talking about a client who underwent surgery due to his injuries from an accident that happened just a week before Thanksgiving.
Wow. And what kind of accident was it?
So the client was traveling down the road and the at-fault driver attempted to make a right turn and turned in front of our client and caused the accident.
Okay. So they just sort of cut him off, basically. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
And talk about bad timing a week before Thanksgiving.
Yep. Ruined his holidays for sure.
So what kind of injuries did the client receive? I know you said he had surgery ultimately. Was that right at the time of the accident? Did they have to have surgery, or was it a longer treatment path?
It was a longer treatment path. So when the client reached out for representation, he complained of headaches, neck and back pain, and he also had knee pain. He ended up receiving treatment from the emergency room, a neurologist, chiropractor, and orthopedist. After receiving conservative treatment for almost about a year, it was determined that our client needed surgery on his neck to repair his injuries from the accident. So our client did undergo surgery, and the surgery was a total disc replacement of his cervical level, which is his neck.
Wow. Okay. So messed up that one set of holidays, and surgery should have been right around that same time the next year on the neck. So that's a pretty massive surgery. Did he recover okay?
He recovered, but I mean, he's only 38 years old, so he definitely will be dealing with problems in the future.
Okay. And were you able to get things resolved with the insurance company on this particular case?
So when we presented the case with the insurance company, they did not dispute the claim. However, they did ask for our client's 3-year priors to establish if he had any pre-existing issues. He did not. So after sending over the prior records to the insurance company, it became pretty evident to them that, our client did suffer significant injuries due to their insured's actions. So we were able to negotiate a very good offer for our client.
Let me ask you this. In the very beginning, did the client know that they were hurt this badly, or is it something that, because sometimes they're hurt really bad and it's obvious it's a massive injury from the very beginning. Other times, though, it's just something that just doesn't get better over time, and they thought they could deal with it, and it just never really got better, and they ultimately needed surgery. Which one was it here?
This one, we did not know he was going to need surgery. This was something that after completing conservative treatment, all else failed, and surgery was really the only route that he could go.
Well, okay. So the lesson there is, you don't know how bad it's going to be from the very, very beginning. You just got to get the care you need and hope it gets better.
Exactly.
Okay. What was something you learned on this particular case you could take with your future clients?
Sure. So for this case, the property damage was moderate. From the onset, like we talked about, you would not have guessed that this client would have to go through surgery for his injuries. So I learned really to never guess what someone's injuries are based on the property damage. If the case showed me anything, people can get really hurt without any crazy property damage.
Okay. And I think that's a valid point. And we talk to clients about that all the time is, it's important to go all the way through the treatment process, and the damage doesn't always mean you're going to be hurt terribly severe or not at all. I mean, we've seen cases both sides where there's massive damage to the vehicles and the client's, better in like 60 days or less. So, all right. I think that's a great point. Was the client happy with the result from your work on this one?
Yes. So we were able to negotiate the full policy limits of the at-fault driver's insurance, which was $100,000. So at the end of the day, our client was able to receive a surgery for his injuries that was paid for by the at-fault driver and got a great settlement in his pocket.
Great. Well, good deal. Sounds like a great client victory, Sam, and good work.
Thank you.
In pain, call Shane.
980999999. 980999999. Shane Smith Law. In pain, call Shane.